Hello and welcome to my stream. Tonight we'll be playing more of RollerCoaster Tycoon Deluxe after a whole month, or maybe even more than that, or something around that. It's been forever to be real, right, Emily? How are you doing? Hopefully you're doing great. Sorry for this break or this vacation of some sort, but I'm actually not at my apartment or I haven't returned there. As you can see, it's a new setup, everything is different. Actually, I'm a bit nervous and worried if things will work out on this new setup. Hopefully they will, according to my testing so far. It's looking okay, but we do have things to test with time because not only my place or my location has changed, but also some other features that I have tested or I decided to bring to the channel that we need to see if they are working or not. But first of all, welcome back everyone, and it's good to be here even though I'm still getting used to not only streaming again but also speaking in English again, so hopefully I don't commit many mistakes because it's been a whole month without speaking in English. And hopefully this setup is okay as well, in case there is a problem, the audio, the lighting as well or something, noises. For example, there is a fan behind me, I don't know if you can hear it or not. Let me know and then I can work on the changes and fixes, because I do think that for some time from now on, this may be my new location for streaming until I decide to go back to my apartment. I'm still by my parents, like I said, and it's been good to be here. I can't say it's been perfect because everybody may know that when you are closer to your parents or when you live with somebody, conflicts can happen, right? Because everybody has a different opinion and then people can argue and fight sometimes. Yeah, so it hasn't been perfect because just like in every family, conflicts happen from time to time, but in the end, everybody loves everybody, right? So that's okay. If a fight happens, then on the next day we are all eating dinner together or something, so it's fine. But it's been good to be here because not only I'm not feeling alone or lonely, but also because thanks to my dad's car, I have been able to go out a little bit more, and we have been driving through the ocean, like next to the ocean, or we have been driving like at the beach or something, and it's been good to be a little bit out more than when I was by my apartment, that I actually was not leaving my apartment at all. Of course, the pandemic has been worse now, or it has been the worst, but we are all taking care of ourselves. We are not getting closer to people, wearing masks, and also using alcohol and washing our hands every time. But it's been good to be at a different location too, and traveling and um, taking a ride with my parents' car. You know, it's been good to have a fresher experience than just being stuck inside my apartment like I was. Anyway, hi Nubble and Gabriel, how are you guys doing? And also Emily. And regarding the games, we'll be continuing RollerCoaster Tycoon today and Digimon tomorrow, although who knows what's going to happen on Digimon tomorrow, right? Because that game is complex, it's hard, and I wish or I hope I can remember the details of it again, because I'm not feeling too confident that I'll be able to get to the last things that I need to get, or that I was hoping to get, thanks to this time that has passed by. But wish me luck, we'll see what happens tomorrow. There is no family without Fs, I agree, man, yeah. Also, hey there, how's it going? Sup, it's been a hot minute, yeah, right? I'm actually feeling a bit nervous because it does feel like a lot has changed or a lot has happened, and yeah, it feels weird to return, but hopefully I can get used to this again. But let me also tell you about some other changes before I also can start the game, right, or go back to roller coaster. I have decided to try some things out in here. I don't know if they are working, so please help me to see if they are working. Especially the new rewards for the new currency of the channel, which now has a name. I decided to name it the OR, because we already give a lot of attention to the urn and also to the Riot's fire. So did you know that there is an OR between them both? So yeah, why not call the currency the OR? So now we have the ores and some new rewards. Also, one reward that's regarding this location, because in here at my parents I do have a light that changes colors. So there is a reward in there if you want to change the background color. I think it will look okay or look alright. At least it's going to look different. And also there are some sound alerts that I'm not really sure if they are working. Gabriel is testing it. Did something pop out? Maybe not. It did, but could you guys hear it well? Or was it like very, very low? How was it? Was it good? Because I wasn't sure. This one, Sound Alert extension of the Edge, it's a bit weird. And then I was checking the configuration of it, and then I also saw a lot of people complaining that, oh no, it's not working in here or something. I tried my best to configure it, but in the end I wasn't sure. I could hear it, but I didn't know if it were too loud or too low. It sounded fine, so great. Maybe I did it correctly. There are also some other sound alert options that I chose, but they are like bit rewards, like 5 bits rewards, because unfortunately you could only pick 5 slots of sounds for channel points rewards. Hopefully they notice that people have been using a lot of channel points, and then they open more slots for that. But right now we have like 30-bit sound alert rewards and 5 channel points rewards. And if you guys want to suggest sounds or something, you can tell me and then I can work with them as well. I picked that Mortal Kombat laugh, and I also picked Mario in Super Mario 64 or Sunshine. I think it's in the 64 that he's like sleeping and then talking about food. I thought that was a very good sound effect or sound alert for the food talk. And I kind of forgot the other ones. Oh yes, there is an applause that's like very generic. Anyway, you guys will see them and hear them hopefully and test them out little by little and finally be using the channel points of this channel, right? So let's see how is that going to be like. But thankfully it seems they are working. Also, hi Early, how are you, man? I did get a new webcam because my previous one broke down, right? It looks better. I mean, I was also not sure if on this new setup that I'm testing right now in location, if it would be looking too grainy. But when I was at my apartment, yes, at my apartment with like better lighting and everything, it was looking much better than the previous one. And not only that, I can also do this now. I mean, I could do this before too, but after I got the new webcam, I decided to also give me a whole full screen webcam, you know? Also, this is my room at my parents'. I mean, this is not really my room at my parents', but this is where I'm sleeping. This used to be my parents' room, but after all of those years, this has been the room that I have been sleeping the best, because you guys know that I struggle with sleeping. So this is where I'm staying right now. And also, sadly, because there isn't a lot of decoration or the things I used to have at my apartment in here, that's why I came up with the idea of using the channel points for you guys to pick a color for the background, because of this light that I have in here that has some color options. Maybe later we can test that out too. So let me go back to the overlay. There we go. But yeah, this is the new webcam and thankfully it's been a good one. But then in here I wasn't sure about its quality because of the lighting and the new changes. Suggestion, if you redeem like 100,000 points, you can redeem like a free trip to Brazil. Man, to be honest, this is not a very good time to people to travel here. But I wished it could be that easy, right, man? The light helps. I agree, man. Yeah, maybe it's a bit grainy right now, but it's fine. That's also why we need to be testing things out in here. I could turn the room lights on, but I also thought they didn't look good. And then if I want to use this background or this colored background thing in here, it's better with the room lights off. But anyway, little by little we work on that too. Next we are adding minigames overlay. Wait, minigames overlay? Do you mean those that like I have seen one that when somebody joins the channel or the stream, there is like a character that keeps on walking on the bottom of the overlay, and then it has the person's name or something. I don't know. I don't think those are very appealing in my opinion, but we can totally get more ideas for channel points. I also thought about the hydration. It's like a standard, like a lot of channels have it. But then I was like, but I also will want to drink my water without the the channel points, right? When I feel like thirsty, I will drink the water myself or something. So I was like, do I really need that? But anyway, let's start the game, or I'll be just chatting like always and never playing anything in here. We were playing Crazy Craters, which was a space level, and I forgot its objective, but I know it's something about not letting a certain um, what is the word? A certain stat. I forgot which one though. To drop or to go under a certain number. So we need to be checking every time if that certain stat is higher than the certain number. I forgot what was the condition, but let's go back to it. We are also testing this house's internet, right? So far it looks good, but I actually don't know how great it will be as the stream keeps on going on. Okay, Crazy Craters. So this is what I got in here so far. There is one that works with users gambling their points against themselves. Oh wait, but then I think you are talking about oh, okay, I know what you're talking about now. You're talking about those bots, right? Um, Streamlabs bots or something? Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Draco, for example, uses that a lot. By the way, did you hear the motorcycle? Yeah, that's another thing we all need to get used to, like the traffic or the loud cars outside or maybe some other noises. At least I hope we won't hear shots, because at my apartment sometimes we could hear shots. In here, I hope it's going to be less dangerous than that, right? The game is pretty loud on that opening or menu, right? Opening menu. When I'm on the level itself, it's lower. That's always like that. It's been always like that. Okay, so this is my park so far. This is a level that I have infinite money. So we can build anything we want. But what is the condition? I need to have at least 2,000 guests in my park. And then I must not let the park... Oh, the park rating was the condition. I must not let the park rating drop below 700 at any time. So now that the park rating has been above 700, I shall not let it drop, which is a bit challenging. Especially because as this level doesn't have money or currencies, I also cannot advertise. So all of the guests that will come to the park, they need to go there thanks to the park's growth or something. It can take a while, but let's see how it goes. So right now it's at 881, that's good. Let me check my research. We are getting some shops. I cannot change the research though, because I also don't have money, so we are getting what they are giving us. So okay, I'm happy to hear that everything is working on. Yes, I decided to add a somewhat weird alien movie. Alien music. Yes, I added an alien music. I have been testing the game's music options more lately. In the previous level, I remember it was a snowy level, and then I heard the snow theme for this game, and it was actually one of my favorite songs. We also have the astronauts as entertainers. So this is only year one in here. Maybe I should go for some thrill rides. We have the two towers, and then those two coasters, and the two bumper cars slash flying saucers rides, right? I always thought they were very close to each other because they are bumper either cars or saucers. So let's go for the 3D cinema, for the swinging inverter ship. Maybe that's a good location for them. Wait, I'm screwing this up, right? Maybe we should change the movie they are airing in there for... Wait, two, right? We should change the movie they are airing in there to a more spatial one, like the Space Raiders. It makes you think of Mars Attack. I can't remember if I have watched it, but I certainly have seen some scenes of it. But watching the whole movie, I think I have never watched it. But it is a classic. But speaking of movies, I have watched a lot of movies in this month in here. But my one favorite so far, I can't wait to talk about it with Joe Dancing, because she also has watched it. Transporting 2. The sequel to Transporting really got to me. When the movie ended, I felt happy. I was like laughing of happiness, and it's so rare for a movie to do that to me. So yeah, Transporting 2 was a fantastic sequel in my opinion. And some other movies I watched, they were somewhat disturbing movies. And I also have been watching some more of the Ghibli movies. I think I watched three in this time in here. I'm planning to watch the fourth one or a fourth one on this next week. And one that surprised me the most from the last Ghibli movies I watched was Ponyo. I was not thinking that Ponyo would be that great because at first I was thinking, no, it gotta be a child movie or a kids movie or something. It was, but it was definitely not only that. And I love the universe they created and how the worlds were connected, like the people's world and the ocean world and the sea world. It looked fantastic. Like it was such a creative and beautiful looking movie that it actually went to my top three Ghibli movies so far. It's, I think, at number three on my list, only losing to um, Whispers of the Heart and Kiki's Delivery Service. And the other two I have watched were only yesterday. That was the last one I watched. That movie was kinda strange and very slow and normal and basic as you keep on watching it. And then at the end of it, I was like, man, will this movie surprise me somehow? And then it surprised me a lot. So it's one of those movies that are not for everybody. It's one of those movies that I would not recommend to people, especially considering Ghibli standards, because it is not a, let's say, amazing, fantastic, and mind-blowing movie that will make you so shocked when you were watching it. The plot of it is very simple, very casual, very normal. It's like even boring for many times. But there are two things about that movie that were worth it to me. First, the looks. Like it's a beautiful movie. There are many moments that you wanna pause it and then take a screenshot and then put it as a wallpaper of your computer or something. It's like a fantastic, beautiful movie. But the plot, like I was saying, it's very not lame but simple. But sometimes simple can be good, especially if the movie delivers the message. And that's what I was wondering for the most time that I was watching it. Is this going to give me something like a message? It did. And it did it in a way that I was not expecting, that was something that I kind of don't see happening too much in movies in general. And regarding that scene that I can't spoil it, of course, a somewhat weak movie had one of the best scenes I have seen in all of those Ghibli movies, or in animated movies ever. That shock was incredible to me. I was like, at low expectations, and then on the next second, because of that one scene, I was like, holy shit, everything is making sense now, everything uh, is connected now, and then all of the blocks are piled like a Tetris pile or a Tetris line, and then I can see what the movie wanted to do, and then, man, this is fantastic, you know? So yeah, it went from shitty movie to fantastic movie. I should watch John Wick. I have not watched it. A friend of mine loves it, but I don't know how to feel about it because I have the concern that it's going to be a lot of action and just that. Hopefully, I'm wrong then, because that's the impression I have from John Wick. You couldn't watch from the beginning, Emily? Welcome back. I have watched The Wind Rises already, and it is on the bottom of my list for sure, but it's also another one beautiful looking Ghibli movie. The art was fantastic too. But yes, it's not a movie for everybody. It's very slow and it's very technical as well. Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't it the last movie by Hayao Miyazaki? Or at least so far? It was a very technical movie. So yeah, it was not my favorite. But this one that I said only yesterday, even though it's a very, somewhat boring, nothing crazy happens, it's just a woman telling her memories of when she was a kid, and her memories were like, I don't know, simple. They were not like very traumatic or very strong memories, they were just simple daily life memories that may not impress everybody. But when the movie got to the final parts of it, I don't know, maybe the movie wanted to do that, to like, have no hopes for me. But in case you decide to not give up on watching me, I have something for you. And then it really delivered. It really delivered. In the final parts, you know what it makes me think of? The first Saw movie. The first Saw movie, I mean, the movie was good since the beginning, but what happens in the last 5 minutes of Saw is like hands down jaw at your open jaw, and then your jaw at the floor by surprise or thanks to the surprise. That's how it felt on only yesterday as well. I was like, this movie, what a disappointment, what a disappointment. I was checking some reviews and people talking about it. People were like, is this going to be my first Ghibli movie disappointment? It almost was, but because of the ending, it couldn't be. Even though you were here, that's okay, Emily. Have you been playing more of Roller Coaster? What have you been up to? Have you been getting more plushies? I haven't been doing much though. I have been watching lots of movies, and I have been watching some animes as well. I mean, I started watching let's say, romance drama and scholar uh, anime, which is called Kimi ni Todoke. I think that's how it's called. Kimi ni Todoke. It's been super cute, super, you know, um, heartwarming, and I need to finish it. And then after I finish it, I think I will move on to my friend's recommendations. I can't remember the animes you want me to watch now, but I'll probably be watching one of his recommendations. But I also want to watch Beastar Season 2 and The Promised Neverland Season 2. But this same friend also told me that the second season of The Promised Neverland was crazily rushed and he didn't like it too much. So I will watch it with low expectations. Actually, I don't need this lemonade stall right now, right? The park is so small, so where should I put it? Let's skip it, let's do something else. Oh yes, I remembered one of the names of the anime that my friend wants me to watch. It's called Your Lie in April. But then there is another. Oh yes, and now I got the other name too. The other one I think it's called Real Life, and Your Lie in April. He's been saying that those animes are great. You should add to your watch list on Netflix Big Fish and Begonia and Whisker Away. Skip Real Life? Seriously? No, I need to watch because my friend will be mad at me if I don't watch it. But did you really hate it? Also, hi Ultras, how are you, man? Big Fish and Begonia and Whisker Away. Let me write down those two. I noticed that Netflix has been getting a lot of popular animes lately. For example, they are going to release JoJo, and that's going to be my time, right? Finally, it's going to be my time to watch JoJo. Whisker Away and Big Fish Begonia. Regarding the Ghibli movies, the next one that I may be watching is either. Uh, I'm not sure if those are the names of them in English for sure, but the one about the Yamada family, I think it's called My Neighbor's Yamada or something. And there is also one that's about raccoons. It's like Pom Pom something, and then the Battle of the Raccoons or something. I think I will pick one of those two to watch. Oh yes, I forgot to mention the third one that I watched, right? The third one that I watched was called... Um, how was it called? Ocean Waves. Yeah, Ocean Waves. It was also another very normal, simple, not very surprising Ghibli movie. But I, l- I don't want to say I liked it because it's also one of those movies that I would not recommend to people normally. But it was like a trigger to me to go after scholar animes. Like I did say right now that I started watching Kimi ni Todoke. Because after I watched that movie, that's about students and having the high school life and stuff, I felt like watching more of that or more animes about that. Also because it reminded me of Persona, the Persona games. So yeah, it was like a trigger for me to go after more things like that. Although it was not a fantastic or outstanding Ghibli movie. Especially because some of the characters on it, you kinda can't really like them. Uh, they are somewhat annoying characters. You're doing okay, nice to hear it. You went out and then you washed your car. Wait, your windshield has cracked? And then you gotta replace someday? And then you went to the beach, you walked on the beach. Yeah, one of the best things of being here is that I have been going to the beach more often too. You played some of Ori, how is it so far? And Tetris 99? Wait, you got in eighth? That's great, man. Yeah, that's fantastic. Now they have also the Pac-Man Battle Royale thing going on, right? Have you tried that one? Hi, Sartaki, how are you? Vigets? But man, congrats for Tetris, for your Tetris place, like being at 8th. All of the practicing you have been doing on your streams of that Tetris game have been preparing you for that. The secondary is good. Have you been able to enjoy more of its locations like you were telling me last time? Because you said that it's always the same location, has it been getting better on that? But it's very close to the first, the enhancements are good. Good on Zelda. Oh my god, how is it though? Ich bin... I can only remember ich bin good auch, but... Yes, I can't German right now, man, I'm sorry, but ich bin gut auch. Is that right? Sehr gut. I need Victor to return to the streams because I have been getting some gift on Pokemon Go from a player from Sweden, and I have some Swedish words that I need to practice with Victor. Right, Victor is my Swedish teacher. I got a PB on the NES Tetris 2 this past Sunday. It was like 160,000. Did you get a new rocket for that point? Oh yes, right. Mir gets out good. There we go. That's true. du du hast so gut, so gut, right? So du hast so gut. Even good's an English way of saying it. Yeah, that's why I was feeling unsure about it. Man, I was saying when I started the stream that I was worried about my English right now because it's been a month that I haven't been speaking in it or speaking in English. Imagine German. German has been forever. I kind of wish I could study it again. But then I definitely would need to be practicing and using it, because otherwise I will forget it. Instead of a rocket, there is an alien saucer on the launch pad, and also Saint Bacillus, or Saint Basil's actually Saint Basil's cathedral, and then it launches into space instead. Wait, you don't mean the cathedral will be launched, do you? If so, that's fantastic. Did you manage to check the Dota anime on Netflix? Definitely not, man. I'm not a fan of Dota. But it's made by the Avatar studio? I heard some news that now there is hope for more episodes of Avatar, right? Because there was a studio change or something. And then it's possible for them to come up with new episodes and the continuation of Korra, or maybe a whole new season of Avatar. Hi X5, how are you? It's pretty good even if you don't know anything about Dota. Okay, but I actually still don't feel like very tempted to watch it. But you're saying it's good, so nice. They didn't disappoint the fans at least. I also didn't know it was made by the Avatar studio, right? I rate this amusement park a creepy floor 10, creepy floor /10. You would visit again? Because this is out of space, man. This is a interplanetary park, even the water is, you know, orange. It's Fanta, right? This is the Fanta planet. Man, it's been forever since I last drank soda, like Fanta. Which is good, which means that I have been able to avoid soda or pop. Yeah, it's the Russian cathedral, right? Also, hi Vadim, how are you? They have already announced that they're... Speaking of Russian, right? Because Vadim is Russian. They have already announced that there will be more Avatar stuff. I knew they were continuing the Avatar story on mangas or on comic books, but I wasn't sure about uh, new animated series. Which is good then, because I do love Avatar. I finished watching Korra. Was it this year? No, probably last year. I think it was last year. If it were this year, then time flew by. But I did like Korra, especially the third season. I'm doing good. You went to see a friend of yours and you had a good time talking about silly stuff. There is also that most of Dota players know nothing about its lore, really. Uh, the only thing the only thing lore-wise players know is the original name of the Invoker, which is Car, and that's only due to the memes. Honestly, I don't know anything about Dota, to be honest. I don't know anything. Because it's just not my game. You're drinking cola now, Sartaki? You guys should all try Guarana. If you still haven't tried it. I think Joe Dancing has tried it. Guarana is my favorite soda. And I wish I could try Canadian Dry and Dr. Pepper. I think those are the names. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think those are the soda names that are somewhat popular in North America at least. Also, Ultras also has Coke. Yesterday night was the perfect night temperature. Was it very warm? You saw on a beach at night at the beach, pretty high, having a strawberry frosty. So you went there. How have I been? I'm doing alright, man. Uh, I'm by my parents, as you can see on the. I almost dropped the lighting here. Need to be careful with my movement. But as you can see in the setup and on this room, I'm at my parents, and it's been a good time in here. I can't say it's perfect, but I have been able to relax, to sleep, to rest, and to stay safe from the pandemic. So that's what matters. And then I decided to not return to my apartment that quick, and instead I went there yesterday. I brought my streaming setup and also the food that I had in there stocked, so they wouldn't go bad or expire. And then I brought everything here because now I'm planning to stay here for a couple more months at least, or until I feel like returning. But so far it's been good to be here with my family, and I have been able to go out a little bit more thanks to my father's car. And also I have been able to watch more things because my parents have some streaming devices or streaming features. So I have been able to check some series that I took forever to watch, like some Amazon series and um, some other movies as well. So I'm taking that time to catch up on my series, movies, animes stuff, but also to change things a little bit. I think that I would say maybe 70 to 80% of people that I know have been going through some sort of big changes on their lives right now, especially regarding going to live or to stay at a different place. For example, in 3 days, a friend of mine is moving to my apartment city, which is great because then we'll be closer to each other. But everybody's kind of going to a different place or going to a different house. So I'm kind of now part of that a part of that statistics, because now I kind of want to stay for longer at my parents' house. Also, hi Messiah, how are you? Let me go back on the chat because I think I missed some messages. But then when I'm playing Roller Coaster Tycoon, it's kind of annoying that it kind of locks my cursor. But now I think I got it. Yeah, the Canada Dry, I wanna try it or taste it because a lot of people talk about it. Vadim knows about Carl, and then that meme or that reference from Dota. Korra season is the best, Sartaki. It is the best. The fourth season was kind of lame, or it lowered the excitement or the hype of the show, but everything was worth season 3 for sure. And season 2, after I rewatched it, was better than my first impression of it. Yeah, when I first watched season 2, I kind of hated it, but then when I went back to Korra to finally get to the end of it, I appreciated season 2 more than the first time. It is really, really good. The flashback episodes in Korra season 2 were also amazing. Yeah, now I changed my mind about them. So Dr. Pepper, you think it's a little more Canadian? Really? Why is Canada Dry not more Canadian than Dr. Pepper? You can describe Dr. Pepper. It's like Coke, root beer, dark cherry, spices. One of them is ginger ale, isn't it? Yeah, X5, it's been good to be here, man, for now. Also, I have been able to help my parents and also my sister, my family, with some businesses and some things that were always stuck, like situations and problems, especially financially speaking. So, on my time in here, I have been trying to, push them a little bit to like solve and finish those situations that kind of bug our finances in here. And it's been working even though at a slow pace because dealing with my mom is kind of hard. But little by little, we are progressing on some things that they need to end, please. And then once we get to more results about that, I will feel much better to return to my apartment because my family's life will get much better too. And they kind of are dependent of my help to start things up, like even simple things like can you please send an email or call somebody or uh, focus on this right now, and they keep on being distracted and everything, and then I need to like, no, let's do that now, or let's do this at this time. And then because if I leave them living their lives, they will never really focus on those problems, and then every month that problem hits us back. So I have been able to also help my family out. So Car was a property of Blizzard, so due copyright issues, several names changed when Dota 2 was released, and then Car and Car. You stayed at your mom's place for a month in March. You were moving, weren't you? Now that you said that, I think you were moving. That was kind of fun. What surprised me also was that you guys know that your body speaks to you, right? I noticed that at my first days in here at my parents, my body's health changed like crazy. I will give you an example, although it's a bit like, uh, let's say, it's a bit uncomfortable or disgusting as well for me to be sharing this to you all, but one example is that I can't believe I'm going to say this, but whatever. One change that I noticed in my body was that while I was in here, man, I have been pooping great. Yeah, because I don't know, my body felt much better, and that was one big difference I noticed. Like, my pooping here has been the best in comparison to how I was at my apartment. But it's not only that. But that was one thing that I noticed. Although maybe we should just change the topic again. But yes, being in here has been great to my body as well. So it is serious. I thought it was Walking Dead being referenced in your message. Oh, some people need somebody like you to help focus. Yes, especially my mom. My mom is like always finding excuses to things, and she keeps creating situations on her mind, and everything that kind of is important keeps being postponed, and she leaves things to the other day, to the other week, and then we fight, and then we discuss, we argue. But thankfully, considering my mom's standards, she's been much better now than she was in some years ago. So even though it's been at a slow rate, or the situations have been progressing at a slow rate, we can see changes. Yes, we can see changes. For example, this week we got an answer from an email that took us forever to send, and the answer was positive. Like, now we are feeling hopeful that situation regarding two banks that have been doing shitty things to my parents' money, uh, we think that situation is going to come out great for us, and I hope so. So you have moved into your new place at the start of April, but there was a month between moving out and moving in that you had to chill out for. So now you're all settled up, right? Everything is settled. That's really sweet of you. I hope that those problems can be resolved quickly, so everyone can chill there. Yeah, it's not like we are going under major difficulties, but my mindset has been one of like, and that's also another difference between me and my parents, but also the rest of my family, also my sister a little bit. I see myself more as an executor. Yeah, as an executor, when there is a problem, I like to tackle it right away, or tackle it fast or something. While my family is more slow paced about that. It's like crazy. It's like they don't feel the urgency of things, especially when the, let's say, outcome or reward for those changes or for those actions is a small reward, or it's something that to them feels like it's not worth the stress. But they got to a level that even calling somebody or emailing somebody takes an eternity to happen. And I'm like, come on, it's just a phone call, it's just an email. Can we please work this out for some outcome or good outcome out of this? So it's kind of crazy for me to deal with them, because even the smallest thing can be a whole a whole movie to finally happen, basically. But thankfully, it's progressing, even if it's slow. Anyway, I don't know what else to do in here because of the chatting, but that was expected, of course. It's like the return of the streams, and a lot uh, of chat must happen. Mom's spaghetti? Why is the mom's spaghetti? Today I had mom's soup though. Wait, my mom sounds like you, Sartaki? As long as you are no executioner. I mean, I don't mean executioner of like killing people, but I mean executioner of like executing things or doing things, acting uh, towards a problem. Because maybe it's because of my anxiety. If I don't get answers, or if I don't feel like I did something to finish a situation, I will get anxious, or I will not be able to focus on something else. Or I also know that with time, I will feel more lazy to go after that topic or to go back to that topic. So I'm like, okay, this is happening, let's do something, or let's see if I can do something now to, move it somewhere or to progress on it. And then that's it. But sadly, my family is more slow than me, so things take forever. Why not both? My mom always is suspicion of people. Yes, my mom is that as well. Exactly. A lot of why my mom doesn't do things is because she's always suspicious of things, or of others. Like, uh, Also, the blame is never on her. There is also that. She's always blaming the bank or like the, I don't know, the salesperson. The blame is always on the other person. Like, if there is this problem and I'm not getting it solved or done or completed, it's not because I didn't do something myself to finish it or to like get an answer of it. It's because no, the person must call me, not me that I need to call the person. It's that's not how the world works. Sometimes you do need to insist, and then you need to push people harder to like, come on, I'm waiting for this, or did you forget about me or something? Or give me an answer or I'm going to sue you. Sometimes you need to do that push because unfortunately that's how it is. But no, my mom thinks like, nah, it's okay. If it's not happening is because, I don't know, uh, the person will still need to answer me, or I'm feeling like um, she feels maybe a little bit powerless sometimes too. Like she feels like she won't be able to change the reactions of people to like help her out on something. But all of those things are creations of her mind. It's not like that. You gotta dialogue. You gotta have dialogues with people. You gotta talk to people. You gotta push people to things to happen to you. You can't just assume that the person will answer you later, or that sending this email will not change anything, or that, I don't know, the person is conspiring against you or something. Yeah, that's what I have been dealing a lot while I'm here. Also, hi Marmo, how are you, man? Like, the neighbor supposedly doesn't wave. Regarding that, I don't know if my mom minds that too much. But when, like, it's something about services, it's not about just greetings, like waving to a neighbor. When it's about a service, like bank service or somebody that she's buying something from, then she gets annoyed like that. But when it's like a passerby or a neighbor or something, I think she doesn't mind it that much if a person doesn't answer her or wave back to her. No, man, we haven't finished Digimon. We'll be back to it tomorrow, hopefully. It's just been a long time since I last streamed, right? And then today I'm back. My mom's camera takes an SD card, and then she sent you a SanDisk brand micro SD, a micro SD card, Amazon link, and asked you to order it for her. And so you did. And then when it showed up, she was like, "This is not what I sent you." Yes, that's what I was telling you of, like, they can't be wrong. It's never your mom's fault. Maybe every mom is like that. At least my mom is like that. And then you try to tell them, or you try to show them their mistakes, and then my mom becomes blind, like, or deaf as well, like she doesn't hear what I'm saying. And that's why sometimes it is stressful when then fights can happen. But at the end of the day, everybody loves everybody. And then she showed you her normal size SD card, and then you were like, yeah, but take the small one, which was the one you sent me, and put it in the adapter that comes with it, and then it will work. Yeah, my mom is also like that. She also jumps into conclusions very fast. They must have sent you the wrong thing, you don't want this, how do I return it? And that's how she thinks. Yeah, and then she thinks that they do that on purpose. The neighbor in question, it's a complete paranoid, social, anxious family. Oh, really, man? Yeah, so that's understandable if the person did not wave back, right? You missed the streams? No, no, you didn't miss the streams, man. It was just a whole month break, basically. And as you can see, it's a different place now, because I'm at my parents'. I traveled here. And I also decided to stay here for longer, so that's why I had to go to my apartment to get my setup and bring it here. And then today I'm testing this out, but it seems to be working, thankfully. So yes, he's probably purposely not waving because his heart rate is at 1,000 when he sees you. Hi Meowser, how are you, man? I'm doing alright. I'm happy to see that this new setup, this new location have been working out. But nice to see you, man. I try and skip past trying to prove to her that you are correct. Me too! That's me against my mom. Because that causes the circuits to short out even more. So I just try to move to the fastest solution to help her and move on. Sometimes I'm not that patient. Sometimes I just scream out loud and I give up about helping them, but then maybe at the end of the day after some hours I go back there and then we try it over again. But yeah, after the shots are fired, then we work on solutions. I have been very um, very stressed when I'm dealing with my mom under those conditions, under those situations. I haven't been taking it in a peaceful way, basically. Meowser, thank you so much for the resub. Glad to see you back. There we go, and I'm happy to see you too. Is that book one of the words of Lord Dunsany? Wait, what? This week I'm getting 2 new books. Man, I stopped buying and reading books. I wish I could read more. If they don't get delayed. Oh yeah, by the way, Meowser, last time we talked, weren't you going to practice some snow sports? Or you were going to have a trip to somewhere that you could try snowboarding or something? Did that happen? I think I'm remembering this right? Because a lot of time has passed, so probably that already has happened. If so, how was it? It's a collection of old Lovecraft stories. I still haven't read Lovecraft. Maybe someday. And a book that was a big influence to Lovecraft and... how is that pronounced again? I will not try it, but I forgot. That reread years before writing it. Gabriel, isn't there a series, but then I cannot remember the name of it as well, that's about Lovecraft fans or something? Is it called Lovecraft Universe or something? I know there is a series that gets Lovecraft on its name. I'm not sure if it is a good series or a bad series, or how much related or connected to Lovecraft it really is. But I know it's a thing. And it got somewhat popular. Man, because we can't change the researching here, this sucks because it takes forever for me to get the rights. You're eating some canary melon and blueberries? It's been some time since I had canary melon. The blueberries are pretty sour though. Okay, so I got my memory to working here. Meowser did go snowboard. And how was it? Yes, Sertaki, that's the one, Lovecraft Country. Is it very, very connected to Lovecraft, or it's just, I don't know, a simple reference on its name? But I think people like it. I think people have been enjoying that show, even though I don't know what it is about. It was a ton of fun. You fell once really hard, but then you were okay and you had a ton of fun. Okay, at least it was not like a permanent injury or something. You could recover fast, right? Unfortunately, the snow all melted near us shortly after that, so you haven't been able to go back. Yes, I believe that you guys are getting summer in there, or it's coming up soon, right? And then I imagine, thankfully, the temperatures have been getting warmer and better even. Oh, it is on HBO? Yeah, that was the one that I was thinking. And Gabriel also hasn't watched it. Gabriel told me about a show on Amazon Prime that was like The Boys, right? I think it's an animated series that's like The Boys. My friend also told me about that show, but I don't know if it is on my parents' streaming service in here. I will say this though, my parents have a certain device that It's not an official device per se, but it kinda gets the best of every streaming service. It doesn't have everything, but it gets like a little bit of Disney Plus, a little bit of Netflix, a little bit of Amazon Prime. So there are crazy things on that streaming service my parents got. So I'm not sure if there is that show Gabriel said on Discord that was like The Boys, but I know for sure that show is the same my friend recommended me and told me to watch as well. But Invincible, that's the name, yes, Invincible. I need to see if this streaming device my parents bought, if it has it in there. It probably will have it because it does have the most, let's say, trendy shows on streaming services. It's inspired by Lovecraft and contrasts his stuff with Jim Crow time racism. Yeah, you guys also told me in one of the streams that Lovecraft did have some racism things, right? Or he was like a racist. I have the book the show is based on. It's very good. It's it's taking ideas from Lovecraft. You can watch it without knowing much Lovecraft. Okay, that's actually good because it's accessible then. Wait, have you watched it, Meowster Invincible? Oh, it's not animated? I thought it was. Ultras is sending me a picture. Let me check that out. I'm actually surprised that even though I'm not playing the game that much because I'm here keeping up or updating our conversations in here, I'm surprised my park rating is not dropping. Because in this level, you can't let the park rating to drop. It is not dropping, even though I'm not adding rides or even though time is passing by. Oh, look at that picture. Is that the beach you went to? Actually, here in my hometown, there is a beach that has the same, let's say, rocks barrier. I'm not sure how to call that. It has the same thing. Although this beach of your picture is much more beautiful than the one in here. But yeah, it has the same rocks formation, like it's an artificial rocks formation to break the waves or something like that. It's probably best to not talk too much about it. Oh, you were sitting on the water today? Oh, you went there today then. And Invincible is great. You thought you were talking about The Boys. Oh yes, I watched The Boys. Yes, I watched the 2 seasons of The Boys. I liked it. But I do think it was a little bit overhyped, in my opinion. It's good, but not as great as a lot of people were saying. But you know what's funny? Many people did not like Season 2 that much. I kinda preferred Season 2 over Season 1. So maybe my opinions about The Boys is just different than everybody else. So Lovecraft certainly has written some very problematic things. He was a person living in horrible fears of anybody and anything that was outside of what he saw as a civilized culture. So he was very short-minded. His horror stories were deeply influenced by his own neuroses and phobias. The beat starts on the very, very, very left of the photo. It is hard to see, but you can see the sand a little bit. And then it was 15 degrees Celsius today. That's cold to me. 15 degrees Celsius is already cold to me. During winter time in Rio, that could be like the lowest temperature you could get in Rio. So I only have coasters to build because the game is not giving me other options. Let's see another coaster in here. Let's go for the stand-up. But what else have you guys been watching? After the stream, I'm going to watch another episode of Pokemon. I have been watching the Pokemon anime. Then I also need to go back to that anime I said earlier, Kimi ni Todoke. I need to finish it. I'm only missing like 5 or 6 episodes of that. I was watching Utopia. Yeah, I finished watching Amazon Prime's Utopia. I liked it. I can't say if I liked it more than the original series that was released years ago. And then maybe because I watched the original one, I was not too surprised by watching this Amazon retake or remake on it because I knew about the story or I knew about what was going on or some things that were going on. But I liked it still because there are some differences and the way the season 1 ended was good. Yes, it kind of gives you material for a season 2 for sure, you know. Like the original. The original had 2 seasons. So it was a good show. I do recommend it, but definitely not to people that are very worried about the pandemic because maybe it could be like a sensitive. Hopefully it's sensitive, the word. It's either sensitive or sensible. I think it's sensitive. Hopefully it's not it could be a sensitive topic that they have on that show uh, regarding the pandemic, you know. So if you are feeling very bad about the pandemic, don't watch it because it could have triggers. No, I still haven't watched Jujutsu Kaisen, but I can say it has some of the best music out there. A friend of mine also sent me a song from the show that sounded like Persona. It was the ending theme of it. And I also have heard the opening song of it. I liked it, but not as much as the ending song of it. But I still gotta watch Kaisen, yeah. But I think that as soon as JoJo's Bizarre Adventure releases on Netflix, I believe I will start that up. He lived in a racist time in the early 2000s. Wait, in the early 20th, right? That's a very hard word to me. 20th century, but he was very extreme even for his time. And then he got a bit over his warped worldview with age, though. At least a little. You watched around 60% of the MCU with your mom. Really? Does your mom really like superhero shows? I sadly do not watch many things with my family or my parents, but I did watch one movie with my father this last week. It was a movie called Yesterday, and the reason why I watched it with him is because my father is a big Beatles fan, and Yesterday is about the Beatles, right? It's like a musical, and there is this musician that plays the Beatles songs. Although there is like a crazy blackout in the world or a crazy power outage in the world, and then when the lights are back or the power is back, some people got an amnesia that the Beatles ever existed, but was also other things that disappeared from existence. And then because this one guy, this one musician, could still remember the Beatles songs and some other bands as well, he became a huge success or he became a big hit by playing the other one's music, right? So it has a lot of the Beatles songs, but also some other bands too. And my father is crazy for them, so I decided to watch it with my dad. But to my surprise, he has already watched that movie. So it was the first time only to me. Okay, I need to go back on the chat again a little bit. You know what? Let me build this coaster and then I will catch up with the chat. Because otherwise I will never do anything on this level, right? I like this color a lot. It does fit this floor, so I will keep it. Also the path is also bloody red. Let's decrease the inspection time. Is it one car? Two trains, so I will actually change that. Hi Subaru, how are you, man? Oh, by the way, let me tell everyone that likes to get free games and stuff. Quiplash is for free on Steam right now. But also there are the free games on Epic Games that are there every Thursday. But yes, if you like party games and Jackbox games, Quiplash is for free on Steam right now up to 26. Yes. Thanks X5 for telling us about that. Okay, let me go back in here. I watched the two seasons of No S4A2, Nosferatu, based on a novel from the son of Stephen King on Prime Video. And Sartaki wants to watch it too. Meowser loves JoJo. Here's what I heard. Um, it seems that JoJo starts good, and then there is something in the middle of it that kind of makes everybody to pause it or to get stuck at it. And then if you get through that part or that moment, it gets better again. So I will try pushing myself towards the show, because now I'm expecting something to happen in the middle that will be like a bummer. But now I know also that it gets better or it recovers. Do you agree with that, Meowser? Or did you not get stuck at all? But I heard from some people that there is something that happens that will get yourself stuck or could get yourself stuck. And then maybe you move on to watch something else and then return to it later or something. Actually, I did not watch Across the Universe. You know what? I need to check if my father has watched it. Maybe it is even on Netflix. I need to check that too. But I did not watch it. You got your mom into watching nerdy stuff? I was shocked to learn that my sister watches nerdy stuff. More than me. My sister watches Star Wars, Star Trek. I was like, do you watch that? Yeah, she does watch that. Maybe my sister is more open-minded to watch things than me. Back when you were a teenager, she found them stupid, but it appears mostly because her German was not very good. Oh, so she couldn't watch it with you because it was in German? That's the Beatle movies, or that Beatle movie was one that you wanted to watch. It's good, but at the same time, it just delivers what it only delivers what it was planning. It's not like crazily outstanding, but it's good, especially if you're a Beatles fan. But yeah, also I wouldn't say like don't expect it to be one of the best movies ever. It's not like that. It's one of those good um, afternoon chill movies. Oh, this is on TV. I will sit and watch. Across the Universe is amazing. I will write in here so I don't forget to check that out. I remember it being on Netflix. Hopefully it's still there. Don't skip season. Oh, I would not skip seasons of JoJo for sure. I never skip episodes of shows, I think, or anime, unless it is one of those let's recap everything. Those episodes that are just a recap. Sometimes I skip those, but normally I don't do that. So far, we have watched Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, the MCU, The Mandalorian. A lot of people have been watching it. And all of the Spider-Man movies, I need to watch the Spider-Verse. Yes, I still need to watch it. Especially because I watched a list of animated movies that, how can I put it? Basically, they were going through the history of many animated movies out there, and on their top 10, they had different categories or different reasons for them to pick the movie they picked. It's not like all of the best animated movies and that's it. No, they were like, which animated movie could be the most horrifying one? And then they picked one, you know? And then for the number 9, they picked like, which one is the most lovely and cute? And then they picked another. So I was watching a top 10 of different animated movies in all sorts of comparisons, and they had Spider-Verse listed on it, and then I was like, man, I should not skip it then, because I wish I could remember exactly how they described it, but they really liked the way they mixed the comics styles and art at a movie or on a movie. So even though I was kind of skipping that movie so far, I now wanna go watch it. Yeah, and they also had, is it Persepolis or Persephone? I'm not sure how is that other animated movie called, but they also had it in there. It's about the World War II, if I'm not mistaken. I do want to watch that one as well. They had a movie that surprised me a lot. You know what? I think I sent the video I'm talking about on Discord. I'm sure I sent it in there. Maybe some of you have watched it. I was super surprised or super shocked they had a Brazilian movie there. It's called The Boy and the World. I didn't know that movie got somewhat recognized outside of Brazil, you know. I mean, um, it did get some awards, or like it was competing for some awards, but I don't know, I felt like nobody outside of Brazil were watching it. But no, they put that movie on the list, and then I was like, holy shit. And that movie is fantastic indeed. I watched it in the movies in here. And then they had, of course, Spirited Away from Studio Ghibli. I'm doing alright, Subaru. I'm trying to get used to streaming at this new location. By the way, everyone that's like coming up now but not at the beginning of the stream, there are some changes going on. We now have new channel rewards like for the points. Some of them are bit rewards, some of them are channel points rewards. The currency of the channel is now the ore, because of like they earn ore riots. So I decided to, that dad joke or that pun in there, let's use this ore for something. There are sound alerts, and it seems that they are working, hopefully. So if you want to use them or use your points for something. Also, I have this thing in here that I have like a colored lamp that could change the color of the background. If you want to test that out as well, we could go for it. Just to let you know about some of the changes, not only the location that I am at. Yeah, Gabriel is using the applause. Let's see if it's working. That it is, I could hear it in here. And if you have suggestions or other things, let me know, and then I can do what I can or try what I can to make it to work or to make that change. And then we are getting a bot message. Let me bend that. There we go. Okay, now let me go back and catch up, but I'm only telling you about the changes because some things have changed in here. Subaru is using the Mortal Kombat laugh. Yeah, finally you guys can use the channel points, right? I'm pretty sure some of you have stocked up a lot of them. Let's be using them little by little. I also had some other alerts ideas, but I kind of gave up on some of them because I was afraid of copyrights. Yeah, now that Twitch has been harder on copyrights, I also hope that the ones that are like the ones that you can send for like 5 bits, I hope they will not give me copyright trouble. But yes, there were some other ones that I thought about, like the X-Files team and the Mission Impossible team and Eye of the Tiger. Some other songs that are fun, or they could have a reason for somebody to be um, claiming them. I gave up on those because I was a little bit scared of copyright. Also, I Believe I Can Fly. I thought on that one as well. So I tried to go for video game songs or sound effects or very, very, very generic sounds. But then hopefully they will not give me any sort of trouble. If they do, then I will probably need to get rid of them. Okay, let me now catch up with the chat. So the first few episodes are rough for season 1, but season 2 was hilarious. How many seasons are there on JoJo? Because I was not thinking it was a long anime. If he likes the Beatles, he will probably know Across the Universe. I'm not sure, because my dad's thing is Western movies. Can you believe that? My dad is like a big Western movies fan, and like 90% of the movies he watches are Western movies. So I don't know if he knows about Across the Universe. I was surprised though that he knew about Yesterday. It is really silly sometimes, but you love JoJo, and it is indeed a truly bizarre adventure. She didn't quite get what was going on, so it just seemed stupid to her. Yeah, of course. I think that watching something on a language that you don't know that much, you can't enjoy it that much as well, right? It's less about something happening midway and more how the anime is made. You know what? That reminds me that everybody kind of recommended me to go check Ghost in the Shell and Akira, and guess what? I did that while here at home. I told you that I was like catching up with my movie series and animes in here, right? Yes, I finally watched Ghost in the Shell and Akira. That thing that Gabriel is saying in there, that it's more about how the anime is made and stuff, that's how I felt about those two movies, but especially Akira, because Akira was a movie that I didn't like. But I will get to the talk after I catch up with everything else. I watched and read everything JoJo, including the live actions and spin offs, but I understand why some people don't like the first parts. Hmm. I will see. I will see how that goes when I start watching it. Probably next month I can start watching it. Spider-Verse is incredible. I will give it a shot, yeah. Sadly, I will probably watch it dubbed. I wish I could watch it subtitled and on its original language, English, I think. But I think that on my parents' streaming thing, it's going to have it in dub, or it's going to have it dubbed in there. But it's okay. It's better than not watching it. You can watch most of it for free with ads on VRVCO. Don't worry, Meowser, if it's about animes. I have an app on my phone that's called Anime TV. It has the greatest collection of animes I have seen, and lots of them are even dubbed in Portuguese too. Like if you're watching an old anime, like one anime that I grew up watching, like Dragon Ball, Sakura, or Cardcaptor Sakura, Pokemon, even Digimon, they have it with the original Brazilian dub version as well in there. So it's a very complete app for animes, and it's also for free. That's where I have been watching Kimi ni Todoke, the anime that I'm binging at the moment. So I'm sure I can find JoJo and some other animes that I need to catch up as well, like The Promised Neverland, Beastars. I also need to watch Cowboy Bebop, especially after Scapluni played a song from Cowboy Bebop on his last Wednesday stream. I had no idea that the soundtrack of that show was that beautiful. So after hearing that song, I felt more like I gotta watch this soon, because I want to listen to the whole thing. When people think about JoJo, they think about the part 3 or season 3, but is season 3 the last? I disagree, but I respect her opinion. But then Gabriel is talking more about the general public, especially considering how much references or how many references are made about earlier episodes or earlier seasons in later episodes. I know, Sartaki, it's outside the US, Canada, and Japan. I believe those are the three countries that Netflix did not give them the Ghibli movies. It's not like all of them, it's like most of them for sure, it's almost all of them, but it doesn't have the Grave of the Fireflies, Graveyard of the Fireflies, something like that. That one is not on Netflix in here, but I heard it is on YouTube for some reason. So maybe I can rewatch it. I have watched it once on YouTube when I want to ruin my day for sure. But as I'm binging all of them, I will need to do that as well. The only I would say problem is that there is a somehow long delay activating it. But then the delay is like also part of my channel, right? People even told me that this webcam has a sound delay too, right, with my mouth and the sound, but it's minor, so it's fine. Oh my god, Subaru has like a whole mine of ores right there. 170, 173,000. But yeah, it's a lot. So keep on using them, man. Now you have reasons to use them. Welcome back, Emily. You're ready to talk? All the good food I have been having. I found a restaurant in here. I went to my apartment yesterday to get my stuff to be streaming today, right? But also I got the food that I left there to bring it here so I can eat it in here. But I found a restaurant in here, Emily, that they have a very good barbecue or a very good Brazilian barbecue. And yesterday I tried their black beans. I love their black beans. It's like at my second place right now of the restaurants that I have tried their black beans. The first place is still of a restaurant in my apartment or in the city of my apartment, right? In the other city. But I had this Brazilian barbecue yesterday and I can see myself ordering that barbecue many times again, Emily. I do have one thing at my house that I was um, bringing from my apartment to here that I wanted to show it to you. Do you guys want me to go get that? Because it's like a cream cheese, but it's not the same. But then I don't know if it's going to be very interesting for me to be talking about it because it's just like a thing we spread on bread or crackers. But I know it's not the same as cream cheese. It's the closest I can think of, but I know it's not the same. And then I was eating that yesterday with bread and ham and cheese. But then I thought about, have I ever showed this on stream? I could show that on stream someday. But I don't know, because also now that I'm here, the kitchen is kind of far, so it would take me some time to go there. But yeah, I'm talking about something that's very good, and I wish you guys also had that in there. Um, don't bother with the copyright stuff. Yes, I'm trying to be careful about that. HBO has all of the Ghibli movies. Yes, that's what I heard. It's because other streaming services will have the Ghibli movies, right? But you haven't seen Ocean Waves. I watched Ocean Waves while I wasn't here. I was talking about it earlier today. Don't expect to be a great movie. In comparison to the other Ghibli movies, it was not very outstanding. But you know when you wanna watch something without worrying too much about it, or you just wanna leave something being aired while you wanna relax or something. That was a movie that worked for me that way, or I could feel that from that movie, especially because it's not a long movie. I think it's only an hour long or something, an hour and 10 minutes, so you can easily um, watch it all. But don't expect to be great because it is not great. But like I was saying earlier, what happened to me in that movie was that it made me feel nostalgic, or it gave me the desire to watch more of scholar animes. You know, animes that happen in high school and stuff, and then it's about students' drama. It also remembered me of Persona, the Persona games. So yes, I appreciated that movie because of that, but don't expect it to be great. No, it's going to be very normal, very simple. It even tries not to, let's say, deliver high quality in comparison to the other movies, to the other Ghibli movies. As you watch it, you can see that its graphics, for example, or its art, had a choice that differs from the other Ghibli movies, and it's a choice that goes for more simplicity. And it's okay because it can still be a somewhat enjoyable movie without, all of the exaggerated, beautiful looking scenes and beautiful art and everything. It is something that they decided to go for, and it's like it's okay for them to, make a less uh, pressured, maybe like a less important movie sometimes. It's like when you wanna you wanna skip diet. Yes, every day I gotta follow this diet, and then in the case of them, it's like every day I need to deliver a high standard or like a high quality movie. But then on this day I will do something different. That movie feels like that. It's like they are going a bit uh, on the opposite of what they normally do. But that even if they are not going on their standard, they still can't do bad, right? They still can't go on a horrible movie. But just don't have expectations. Yeah, that's only my advice. It's still a good movie, but it's not as fantastic or exaggerated or, crazy like the others. It's very simple. But if you can have this connection that I was saying with like other scholar based animes, you can still enjoy it. But I also gotta tell you that the characters are somewhat annoying. There is one character in there that can piss you off, but again, it's fine because it's still a Ghibli movie. Okay, let me go back then. Once I'm done with all of the Ghibli movies, I will bring you guys the list because I have been ranking all of my favorite movies in order. Yes, I did like Marnie was there a lot. Only Yesterday was the last Ghibli movie I watched. I can compare it a little bit to Ocean Waves because they both go on a very simple story, or it doesn't try to give you a crazy story. Although Only Yesterday has better graphics. Like the art of that movie is beautiful. And also it does deliver something to you by the end of it. Yes. And maybe Ocean Waves was more casual than that, more simple than that. But Only Yesterday does have a somewhat message. It's just a matter of waiting for it. So JoJo comes in parts. There are 5 parts, and then some of them have 2 seasons. Okay, so now I'm worried because it sounds like it's a long show. Ghost in the Shell is a fascinating sci-fi. Okay, so now talking about Akira and Ghost in the Shell, I will say that I can see why people say that Akira was an inspiration for so many things, because when I was watching that, I felt like this is Evangelion plus Dragon Ball, and with a little bit of Resident Evil by the end of it. That's how I felt. I was not ready for the craziness of it. I imagined it being a more noir, common story, maybe a little bit like Blade Runner or something, but no, it's actually, it has its noir, but it's like crazy disturbing as well, or it goes on not realistic things too. And I did like the the idea behind the plot, although I did not like the execution because I did think it went too crazy on what it was trying to give to us. It exaggerated, maybe it went too far, but I like the idea, like the problematic of the plot. I like that. It was something that kept me thinking, actually, especially when after Akira I went to Ghost in the Shell, because they both talk about let's say, the same thing but differently or on different ways. They both are movies about identity, life, or what is being you, and what is being a living being. It's all about those things, but they do that differently. But not only that, after I watched Ghost in the Shell, I also was lucky enough to watch a disturbing movie called The Skin I Live In. I think it's an Almodovar movie, if I'm not mistaken. It's like an old movie already, but it's also about that. It's also about what or who are you, and also the shape you have, like your body, you know. And even though I did not love any of those three movies like crazy, because I watched them all in a row, after I was done with them, I felt great. Like, I felt fulfilled. Because I felt like, man, I'm finishing a marathon of identity, existence, and individuality trip. You know, I'm at an end of a crazy self being or self identification trip. So yeah, that happened to me. I did not love any of those three movies because they all had its problems or their problems. But because I watched them three together, the experience was better than each one of them. But my least favorite was Akira because I thought it was too crazy and I don't know, it went too far on its things. Ghost in the Shell started very slow, but by the end of it, it got very interesting. Although it was already the end of it, so I was like, "Come on, don't finish the movie now." You know, now it's good. And then this one that I said, which was The Skin I Live In, maybe through the middle of it, I was like, is this movie really going to disturb me somehow? Because I heard of it being a disturbing movie, but up until the middle of it, I wasn't sure on how is it going to do it, you know. But then from the middle of it to the end, yes, it did make me feel somewhat uneasy on its own ways, of course. And for that, it's a good movie. Emily wants some Brazilian barbecue now. I'm getting hungry already, but I will probably be eating some sandwiches and some cereal because I also brought cereal from my apartment and a lot of milk. And all of those milk boxes are going to expire next month in May. So I need to be drinking milk like every day now because otherwise I will lose it. But Emily, Brazilian barbecue, it's good. It's really good. What are you having tonight, guys? Like, what's for dinner? Akira is weird, but the animation is awesome. I will say that I liked some touches of the animation, especially when they are riding the motorcycles. I thought it was so cool, and maybe that inspired Tron. That also has the crazy motorbikes and the light effects. That was the animated touch that got to me the most when I was watching Akira. But the rest of it, I don't know. I thought it was maybe just like other animated movies. It is in my favorites from Ghibli, personally, as one that is somewhere between high fantasy and just normal drama. When I watched, when Marnie was here, I was very surprised. Yeah, it actually went to some of my top Ghibli movies list, but then I started watching other movies that I preferred. For example, Whispers of the Heart. Whispers of the Heart is like at number two on my list. But when it comes to the normal dramas from Ghibli, you can recommend Whispers of the... Yeah, that movie is like... Remember when I was saying that my favorite movie of this year has been Transporting 2 because it made me happy when I finished it? Whispers of the Heart is the other movie that made me feel so great when it was over. I felt joy. I was like, I'm so glad I watched this movie and the energy and the things it made me feel towards it. Man, it's such a beautiful movie. Like I also said earlier today that only yesterday has one of the most special scenes I have seen so far. The same goes to Whispers of the Heart. There is a scene in there that, because it's so cheesy at the same point or at the same time, it turns out special. You know, it's something that, I don't know. It's captivating. That's the word. It's very, very, very captivating because it's cheesy, but it's good cheesy. You know, it's so good. And speaking of that movie, though, did you know that we only got, or at least that's the story I heard when I was checking videos about the Ghibli movies on YouTube. We only got Whispers of the Heart because of Ocean Waves. Because it was like, hi, Al Miyazaki, do you liked our Ocean Waves project, and would you agree with us on making this movie or something? And then Hayao was a bit like, no, I pass, I don't like this too much, let me do it my way. So it seems, according to the story I heard on YouTube, I don't know if it's real, the thing, but I thought it was. It seems that Hayao did Whispers of the Heart because he was not happy with Ocean Waves. And then I thought, like, man, this is actually kind of cool because both of them are somewhat scholar movies, so I can see that happening. And also, like I said earlier, Ocean Waves is very simple. Like, it doesn't try to be an outstanding movie. It doesn't try to, give you a fantastic art quality and stuff. It still has a lot of quality because it's Ghibli. Don't get me wrong, but it doesn't try to compare it to the others, but it still exists, or they still went for it. And then maybe Hayao was like, no, I need to do this in a better way. I need to do this on a more professional way, or like on a more quality wise way. And then he did Whispers of the Heart. If that story is for real, I can see it. Yeah. Graves of the Fireflies is missing, yeah. But I will still watch it again. And that one is considered to be their best. Do you think so? It's their best? It's one of their best for sure. Great, I hadn't noticed the sound delay with your camera. Now it's all I can see. I'm so sorry, Meowser. But I know it's a very tiny delay, right? It's not a big thing. Jojo is about a family. Oh, but you know why it's happening? It's because the mic and the cam are now different devices, right? Before, when I had my computer's webcam working, the source of the audio and the video were the same, or it was the same. Now the cam is one thing and the audio is still the previous, let's say, webcam. Jojo is about a family across generations. Every part's about a specific Jojo, so it's a huge family tree. By the way, I found out recently that in Poland we have a similar dish to dulce de leche. It's called, oh, it's not Matsurek, it's called kedmak. Have you tried it? Weirdly, that is the name of a completely different food in other countries. Like the Poles totally stole the name. So if you add all of the parts, JoJo, oh no, it has 150 episodes? I don't know why I could swear it had less episodes than that. Okay, now I don't know if I will start JoJo that fast. Are the episodes long? Like, are they 30 minutes long or an hour long? That's not bad. There are much longer shows, but there aren't slower people like me, right? Although if it is something that, what's funny? When something is short, I can see myself binging it faster than when something is like long. For example, knowing that JoJo has 150 episodes, instead of seeing myself going through those episodes like crazy, I see myself going slow. But then Kimi ni Todoke, the romance anime I'm watching, it's like 55, 54 episodes, and I'm rushing through it like crazy. Isn't it weird? how we kind of limit ourselves knowing that we could watch something faster but we don't because it has so many episodes that it makes us lazy. It doesn't make sense. It should be the opposite. Like, I should digest Kimi no Todoke slower because it has less episodes, and like go crazy on JoJo because it's so long so I can finish it sooner, you know? Oh, Subway is having a hot dog. I need to see if my mom will throw away the hot dog I brought from my apartment because my mom is like a hater of. I mean, not really though, because sometimes she allows herself to eat some junk food. Actually, she's been loving Burger King. I ordered Burger King one of these days in here for us to have it. Now she's getting in love with it. But regarding hot dogs, she hates hot dogs. She thinks it's like just junk food with no good taste and it's going to destroy my body or our bodies. I need to see if she threw that away. I hope not because I still want to eat it. When Emily was younger, she used to go to a Brazilian restaurant and then they used to come around with those huge piles of meat and slice you off pieces. Do you know picanha, Emily? Because that's the one I ordered yesterday, and it's actually my favorite. My favorite Brazilian barbecue. We only got to the cat returns because of Whispers of the Heart. That's true as well. Taking a piece of furniture in that movie and spinning it into a whole fantasy story. And then the cat returns is not really anywhere close in quality though, but it has some charm. It is another one of those very different movies from them. It's funny that I watched